affect many organs in the body. But the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking That's what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
That's what
And these
matters.
women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about.
what I said.
So
So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on this special interview series on independent television. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Our guest today on the program is the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. As a matter of fact, the Ambassador of the European Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Gauthier Mignon. Thank you for obliging us your time.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation, sir.
Okay, how would you describe your presence in Benin so far? Is this your first time in Benin City?
Actually, it's my second time, but I came in a private visit the first time because I hadn't presented my credentials yet to Mr. President, so I could not engage officially by the time. So this time it's the first official visit. And I came really with an intention to see how, to review the cooperation we are having with Edo State and to try to see how we can scale it up. But I took the opportunity to visit yesterday to participate to a private preview of the Museum of West African Arts here in Edo State, which is a project I already saw last year when I came first to Benin City.
Also, so how would you describe the level of partnership between the European Union and, of course, Nigeria, and particularly Edo State?
Well, with Nigeria, the European Union, together with its member states and its development banks, what we call Team Europe, I think the first partner, is Nigeria's first partner in many areas, in trade and investment in particular, and also in cooperation in many areas. And we have 730 million euros in grants for bilateral cooperation with Nigeria between 2041 and 2027, plus also sizable amounts of loans, subsidized loans. And with Edo State, we've had good cooperation in several areas. I'm thinking in particular of support to migration governance and support to stranded migrants returning to Nigeria, and many of them are from Edo State. And in the last few years, we supported more than 23,000 people to come back and reintegrate into their communities nationally, and many of them in Edo State, just to name an example. So we think we can do more in other areas. We're also working in digital economy, in renewable energy, and also in projects for communities. But I always come with states so important like Edo State with an idea of how to try to improve and strengthen what we are doing already.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience. And this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, particularly through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience. And this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, in particular through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program in particular.
Fantastic. If you just join us, we have with us the ambassador of the European Commission delegation to Nigeria and Africa, who is in Edo State currently on a private visit, engaging him on a wide range of issues, looking at the partnership between the Commission and Nigeria, and particularly Edo State. Ambassador Migno, let me quickly take you on a trending issue in Nigeria right now, which has to do with violence, extremism, and the talk around genocide against Christians is gaining momentum across the world, particularly in the US and several other places. What's the Commission's perspectives on this issue, and what is the intention in terms of helping Nigeria to deal with banditry, Boko Haram, and all other extremism that we're seeing playing up in the country right now?
I think it's important not to exaggerate or oversimplify situations which are very complex in Nigeria in terms of violence and insecurity. Of course, it's a big concern for everybody, including for us. We are very much committed with freedom of religion and belief in particular, and of course, any attack against communities or individuals because of their religion must be condemned, unacceptable. But at the same time, we stand in solidarity with Nigeria, with the victims of the attacks, of course, and with the overwhelming majority of Nigerians who are willing to coexist peacefully beyond ethnic or religious differences. And so we stand in solidarity with Nigeria to fight the many drivers of violence and insecurity, and religion is only one of them. And we've been supporting Nigeria for many years through many projects of peace building, of de-radicalization, demobilization of former members of non-state armed groups, for instance. And we are ready to do more. The European Union some 12 years ago received the Nobel Prize for Peace. And so we always feel the necessity to be up to this great distinction that we received, to work on peace building, to work also and strengthen our relationship on security and defense with Nigeria, but in a spirit of partnership and of respect for Nigeria's sovereignty.
Fantastic. You're here specifically because of the Museum of West African Arts, MOA, which of course was launched just a few days ago. But what's your take on the current issues surrounding the Museum of West African Arts, particularly against the background of some of the things that happened there, during the inauguration of the center? You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually. Okay. It was just a private preview. Okay. Because the organizer, I think, very wisely decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria even. It's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in. And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and our African partners 30 years ago, and we had at the time to pardon part of this debt, to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders. not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement, but we're still seeing some measure of violence. We saw recently the RSF activities in Sudan, particularly in Al-Fasher. That crisis is still going on. And these activities or events that are unfolding globally that undermines peace globally, what's your perspective of the fact that it's like the world is hamstrung in terms of dealing with these issues, nipping them at the bud before it blossoms, it flourishes, snowballs into huge crisis like you're seeing now in Sudan? Hunger is there in Hamas. There's starvation, there's poverty, and all of these issues happening. Why is it so difficult for the world leaders to have a consensus in terms of how they can collectively respond to these issues?
Because we have collective rules in the United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. You know? Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
The Russian invasion to Ukraine, which started in fact in 2014, then it became full scale in 2022. Then we, each from a permanent member of the Security Council, a country which is supposed to be a guarantor of these rules, then it shows that everybody can do anything and violates international law without punishment. And so this is why it's so important, and that is why the European Union insisted so much that all countries in the world had to condemn the Russian invasion to Ukraine. And most countries, including Nigeria, have done that. But others, including large democracies, have not done so.
When you say large democracy, are you talking about the US?
The US has done so, but others have not. And then, other crises also popped up. And then when the law starts to be broken here and there, it just becomes contagious.
Ambassador Gotna Migno, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate this conversation.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I've been talking with Ambassador Mignot, who is the head of the European delegation to Nigeria and Africa. Is currently in Edo State on a visit, and we've been engaging him on a wide range of issues. Thank you for staying with us, and have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Ojúde aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ pẹ́. Ayaba aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ pẹ́. Àdáyé aṣáájú ẹ̀ abẹ́rẹ́ pẹ́. Ẹgbẹ̀dúwà.
ITV, certainly the best.
the evening of the initiation day, all the newly initiated Edion danced to the residents of the Odion Way and also visited some homes of the various senior elders, where Chief Elder Ogbede Onwonse was very conspicuous, especially at the country home of Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion with his family on the night of the initiation. On the following morning, as part of the rite to be performed by the newly initiated Edion in Okada town, the initiates, led by Chief Elder Ogbede Onwonse, visited the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osaro Igbenedion, at his Okada country home residence to pay homage and appreciate him for all he has done in the development of the community, which has placed Okada in world map. They also thanked him for his role in the success of their ceremony. They commended the Esama of Benin as a custodian of Benin cultural heritage and for revitalizing the age-long tradition of the age-grade ceremony.
It's Law and You, the program that brings legal issues to the people and the people to the law. Today, we shine the spotlight on accountability in governance, a cornerstone of democracy that ensures those entrusted with power do not abuse it or abandon their duties. But what happens when public officials fail to perform? Are citizens helpless observers, or does the law empower them to demand change and seek redress? From petitions and, of course, public interest litigations to recall processes and legal sanctions, this edition explores the legal remedies available to citizens when elected or appointed officials fail in their duties. We will be speaking with legal minds and, of course, rights advocates on what the Constitution says and what the court can do and what you as a citizen must know. And don't forget, you stay with us on Law and You as it unfolds the power of the law in the hands of the people. My name is Philip Omao-Gyukpo. We'll be looking at accountability in governance and, of course, legal remedies, that the citizens can explore. We will also have the opportunity to have the presence of a custodian of the law in the person of Emmanuel Obakpolo. Big thanks for always having time to be part of this show.
Good afternoon, Philip. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
All right, let's quickly set the ball rolling. A lot that needs to be done as regards getting it right. We have a system that needs to, work effectively. But first of all, what is accountability in governance? And how does it apply to the citizens demanding this? What importance does it have for citizens to demand this from the government of the day?
Yeah, accountability, as pronounced, is to give records. So accountability in governance is the presentation of records on government's administration to the people and how those records have been properly handled by those in government. That is just accountability. So accountability is to ensure that the people understand and have knowledge on how governance is being carried out on their behalf by those in government.
Okay, but what is the importance? Why should they do that?
Yeah. If you look at governments, from the definition of democracy, it's a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That is what democracy is. And now government is a machinery of governance. So those who are in government, they are managing the wealth of the nation on behalf of the people. And as such, they must give account of how those resources that are made available by the people on the people, so that the people will now understand and have knowledge properly on how governance is carried out. And this government, the governance must be on the benefit of the people. That is all. That is the singular reason why there must be accountability in governance. You don't go into administrative spree or financial spree on how to just spend public fund without being accountable to it.
Okay, do you see a disconnect in between, as in the aspect of the government functionaries, backing on the accountability project to make sure that they give account to the people and render their still worship, and again the aspect of the people, those who are being governed, demanding this? Do you see a disconnect?
Yes, I say a disconnect because if you look at the provisions of the Constitution, the extant Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which upholds and observe and also put demand practice of the separation of power, which is spelled out of and enshrined in section 4, 5, and 6, is all about accountability. And also, if you look at section 85, subsection 1 of the extant Constitution, we provide for the office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The essence for the office of the Auditor General of the Federation is to provide for accountability, because he is the one who will audit government accounts, he audit government expenditure, and now know how money or monies that belong public fund has been used, administered, or utilized for the benefit of the people. So there is now a disconnection. Why do I say so? Because even the legislative arm, who ought to carry out oversight function in ensuring that the executive, which is vested with the power to perform executive function and also the runnings of government on behalf of the people are doing that as spelled out by the law. Unfortunately, we have a legislature, particularly in this Fourth Republic, that is so lackadaisical and a rubber stamp. So wherein instead of them to carry out their function, they are busy carrying out the lullaby of on your mandate we shall stand. That is not the reason why they are elected. That is not why a legislative function. The legislative function is to ensure that accounts and accountability as rendered by the executive are done on behalf of the people, even to them, properly, so that the people can now be beneficiaries of government expenditures and the runnings of government.
Okay, when you say the legislative arm seems to be failing in that, let's draw a dichotomy, because I understand separations of power, by Montesquieu has brought a situation where the legislative arm, make laws, and of course why the executive implement these laws, and then the judiciary, interpret and settle disputes, between all of this. Are you saying generally that the legislative arm under the system we operate in Nigeria is faulty to a point where any elected official seems to be tilting towards executive?
Yes, and I did say that with specific reference to the current legislative arm of government we have.
Did you say that, or do you say that as regards the officials or the system of practice?
It's not the system, because the Constitution does spell out how...
Stricto sensu, it's a constitutional provision.
And I also told you about Section 85, subsection 1 of the extant Constitution, which also provide for the office of the Auditor General.
So it is not a problem of the law?
It's not a problem of the law. The law is there. Is the performance of the law now. And the legislative arm also have what we call oversight function to question how public funds are being used. But here we are. We have a legislative arm of government with specific reference to the National Assembly, who approve all manner of laws. And the same National Assembly does not take time to ask questions on how those laws are used for, the performance, how the executive arm of government, what they be able to, how they be able to administer those laws, and how it has been of benefit to the people of Nigeria. There's no question with reference to that. And that is why you see that it appears that there is no accountability to the people of Nigeria. And that is one of the weak point, pitfalls of this administration that we have just now.
Okay. But what do you see as a causative factor? Because everything seems to be placed on a vote. The ayes have it, or the nay.
With specific reference to public funds, it is more than the question of the aye or the nay have it. It is more than that. And that is why I repeat, I did say that the legislative arm has a duty of oversight function, because the people cannot gather like a Portuguese assembly to begin to ask questions on what their monies are used for. It is their representative, both the Senate and the House of Representatives now at the federal level, and the state houses of assembly at the state level, and the legislative arm of government at the local government level, who carry out this functionality on behalf of the people. And here we are. Their performance is a near it's
abysmal.
It's a near zero, abysmal. That is the right word to use. And that is why you see today that even government after government, there is no form of accountability, and there is no how the people could ask questions. However, the Freedom of Information Act has provided another leeway for individuals or group of individuals to ask questions.
Thank you very much. Well, in case you're just coming across this program, it's Law and You, and we are all about accountability in governance and seeing what legal remedies are available for the citizens to, find a way to put a task on the public officials demanding accountability, of course, stewardship on the public office. And I've been speaking with Emmanuel Ogbakpolo. Well, Emmanuel Ogbakpolo raised some very, very vital issue as regards, finding a lasting solution to this. It was on my mind. You made mention of the fact that the people have given their powers to the Legislative Assembly, their representatives, for instance. And then you also did not fail to say that even when or if these representatives fail to carry out the functions stricto sensu as they demand or request, then they also have another avenue to explore, which is the Freedom of Information Act. Now, how can they do that? Can you deploy how this mechanism works?
Yeah. Section 3 of the Freedom of Information Act does make provision for an applicant, is a citizen now, can make application to any government institution to ask questions or to get information from that institution with respect to the day-to-day runnings of government, even where it is strictly financial.
Exactly.
Now, but that act also provides for exemptions. The act provides for exemptions where a citizen may not have the rights, or an applicant, stricto sensu, may not have the right to ask for information. And what are those? What is these exemptions? Exemptions are provided for in section 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 19 of the Freedom of Information Act. Section 12 specifically provides for defense, that you cannot come and make inquiry or get information with respect to defense. And I think that is commonsensical. That is understood. But where it has to do with accountability on how government is being run, with special reference or specific reference to public fund, that information must be made available to that citizen. And where the act again goes further to say where that is refused, that applicant or that citizen has a remedy. Well, section 25, he cannot make an application to court for court to grant order to get that information.
We will get there, gradually we'll get there. But let's explore what you just said. You have a way of troubling my mind. And of course, I don't know if you're also doing same ripples to the minds of the viewers. A situation where we look at it where an electoral act is specifically, establishes the provisions as regards any concept or how a thing should be done, in terms of accountability. And then there's still another way in which such a person or citizen cannot, explore, in details or directly or, totally from that same, function. It seems to my mind that it's an attempt to kill an initiative ahead of the purpose. I don't know how you explain that.
Well, the law has a golden eye, and the law sees the past, the present, and the future. That is the position of the law. And I think that is the singular reason why the law makes provision for exemptions. But
when you say the law, men work on the laws.
Yes.
Before it becomes a law or before they become laws, they were once bills. And so men work on it. So what is the guarantee that the men that work on this do not deliberately work on this in order to, protect their patrimony, their personal aggrandizement that may, they may want to seek from the common good that law or that bill, is seeking for in the law. I don't know if you get me.
Yes, you may not. That may not be. That cannot be removed from that fact.
Because we've had this with the Electoral Act.
It could be to protect.
Where the Electoral Act, some part, anyways, I'm not to speak on it. Seems to protect those who are even the political actors.
Yes, when you make reference to electoral acts, you discover that in electoral matters, they are so unique and special to the extent that even the interpretation of the laws in marrying the functionality of the electoral officers and their performance in an election gives a wide protection. What do I mean by that? There are the courts in even interpreting the law with respect to electoral acts may not consider what we mean by public safety, where there is an infringement on the rights of the voter or the electorate. Where the right of the voter or the electorate is infringed upon, is violated, do you not say that whatever interpretation you give is for public safety? That is another question begging for answer. That even the courts have not been able to give answer to. But however, we've witnessed a lot of abracadabra, legal abracadabra, but with special reference or specific reference, to my mind, to the last 2023 general elections. We've seen it. Before now, we've seen that the court visit the law strictly on electoral matters. But just now, we've seen how there is protection with respect to that. But again, let's look at the subject matter. I did say that the Freedom of Information Acts provide for exemptions, and those exemptions are specified in sections 11 to section 19 with the removal of section 18 of the Freedom of Information Act, and that you can go to court as a remedy, section 25. Now you can see that even that law, the Freedom of Information Act rather, also has given the court responsibility to make order with reference to information as applied by an applicant or a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's still within the wisdom of the court to so grant or to refuse. Again, we may have the challenge of interpretation in the nearest future.
Thank you very much. But you just raised an issue that needs to be explained in total, because there's this aspect of, getting allocations that the federal government has given to each state, for instance, in their monthly revenues, of course, monthly allocations from the federal government to the states. We've always seen it where it is not properly broken down. We can hardly, have, reports on the monthly, allocations that each state gets from the federal government. All we can get from the Federal Accounts Allocation Committee most times are usually the total amount, that is being disbursed from the federal government to the states, but not the specific amount that each state gets month in, month out from the federal government. And that what you have to get it from the Accountant General of the state to have a well-explained copy or copies of how the state gets month in, month out allocations from the federal government. Should it be so?
Yes, it ought not to be so, because we have seen that with specific reference to the way the executive carried out the day-to-day runnings of administration in this country, it has shown that there is no transparency. In a clime where there is transparency, there ought to be a breakdown. Even the Constitution makes it clear for there to be a breakdown of how public funds are distributed or shared amongst the federal government and the 36 states of the federation. But here we are, some executive maneuverings are being carried out so that the people of Nigeria will not know that. And now, if the people of Nigeria do not have access to that information, what about their representative? at the legislative angle of it. Or
do they have access?
Government. Do they have access? If they don't, do they ask questions with respect to that, or they are engaged in frivolities? So that is why the freedom, I think, that the Freedom of Information Act now makes provision.
That's the importance.
For individuals, citizens, group of citizens, to now make application.
Yeah, because
to
it's
get that information.
Yeah, because it's not every information that will be on the public space.
Yes.
So, but that Freedom of Information Act can also help.
Yes.
If you seek or require such information that may not readily be on the public space, so that you can easily access such,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but how fluid or how, accessible is the office of the Attorney General, for instance?
It's accessible. It's a public office. You can make your application.
Okay.
And the Freedom of Information Act also saw the possibility of the institution wherein that application is made to refuses to grant that application or request as made. And the Act now provides for, in Section 25, that you can go to court to seek a redress so that the court can grant an order. And once the court grants an order, you bring that order to them so that they can furnish you with whatever information as specified in your application.
All right, this is quite a sensitive topic, and we will not be able to exhaust it in one episode. But in the next episode, we're going to be looking more into, the sanctions, or how the citizens can be able to, access, remedies, these legal remedies, in tackling or finding way where the provisions of the law can, make sanctions on non-performing public officials that are found wanting in terms of not being able to, satisfy the public or the citizens in respect of giving account of their state worship. And that will be done basically, next week. But before we round off on this, let's look at the aspect of the legislative arm, for instance, that you raised. This is an important arm of government that helps to oversee, deploy, that helps to, look into oversight functions, of the executive. Now, how can we strengthen this body in order to be able to, help in accountability of the executive?
The law is clear with reference to legislative oversight, and that the legislature, their function as provided for by the Constitution is not just to make laws. Like we have agreed, they also have oversight functions
yes.
to perform.
Yes.
And when they refuse,
but they are lagging in that aspect. Like what you said, they are lagging in that aspect.
Yes.
So how do we strengthen that arm? But first of all, what could be the causative factor, and how can we strengthen that arm for it to be found, living up to expectation?
With the kind of legislative representative we have, and the unique structure of Nigeria, democratically, legally, and otherwise, we may have just one function or one role to play, and that is where you discover now to the citizens, where the citizens of Nigeria discover that the members of the legislative arm of government are not carrying out their functions as legislative arm. In the next election, don't vote for them.
Okay, you are talking about, before that, we could also, explore the aspect of the recall process. And of course, sanctions that may also be given on that. But well, that would be what we will be having same time next week on Law and You. Well, big thanks for taking our time to be part of this. Basically, that's what we're going to be looking at in the next episode, because we want to look at the recall process. How is it done? And of course, sanctions that will be given on non-performing public officials. How would that be carried out? So, big thanks for taking our time to be part of this.
It's a pleasure to be.
My name is Philip Omar Gripo. We'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
ITV, certainly the best. ITV, certainly the best.
Viewers, once more, we welcome you to Message of Islam, reaching you from Independent Television Benin. Today, inshallah, we want to look at the topic, condemnation of murder in Islam. Condemnation of the crime or the offense of murder in Islam. Inshallah, to take this topic, I have with me in the studio this evening. Close to me on my left is Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for having me, and assalamu alaikum viewers.
Alhamdulillah. And we also have in the studio this evening Professor Bunyamin Aidi Al-Aji. Professor Bunyamin Aidi. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers at home, peace be unto you all.
Alhamdulillah. Yes, we are looking at this topic, condemnation of murder in Islam. We are looking at any topic as far as Islam is concerned
we are looking at it in line with what submission to the will of God entails, because Islam radically means submission to the will of Almighty Allah. Let me start with you. Ustaz Sani Abdul-Hafiz. What is murder? Let's start with the definition.
In the name of Allah, all praise is due to Allah. We ask for Allah's peace and blessings upon our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Murder, simply put, in the definition of Islam, is the taking of the life of another person for no just cause and without having the authority to do so. Taking the life of another person for no just cause and without the authority to do so. We have to put it this way because sometimes there are some kind of penalties that may involve having to take the life of another person. So such is not regarded as murder in Islam. For example, if somebody committed adultery and they have to be stoned to death, you don't call that murder. But stoning the person to death requires authority. So if you say somebody committed adultery and you say because we are Muslims, we cannot see an adulterer, and so we take up arms and lynch the person to death, we have committed murder because we have no authority to do so. So murder is to take the life of another person for no just cause and without authority to do so.
Alhamdulillah. I'm coming to you now, Prof. Now, what is the punishment for murder in Islam? One who has committed the offense of murder.
Of course, the definition of murder as far as Islam is concerned has been given by Malam Abdul-Hafiz Sani. In addition to what he just said, before I go to the punishment for murder, the issue of committing adultery, before you can even carry out the punishment, there must be witnesses. Witnesses to say, at least two same men who will not lie. And it's not, adultery is not something that you commit in the presence of anyone. So even when the act had been carried out and the person just came out of the room with a towel or whatever, and it's at that point one of the witnesses see them, you don't have any right to now come out and say you think that is what they went inside to do. So before you even catch the person red-handed or the person's red-handed, it will be very, very difficult. And that is why most times it's left between you and your creator. Now, having said that, the punishment for murder, the moment... The
standard of proof in adultery is more than that.
Yes.
We are required to produce 4 eyewitnesses.
Thank you. 4 eyewitnesses. Yes, thank you. 4 eyewitnesses. Now, the punishment for murder is also that the life of the person that has committed it must be taken. And it will not be taken except the family of the person say, well, no problem. So there are 2 or 3 categories as mentioned in the Quran. The murder could be what the lawyers would call the manslaughter, if it is not intentional, just by mistake. And if it is intentional, someone intentionally takes the life of another person and it's established that the person did that intentionally. Such individual, once it's caught, you take the life of such person as well. So the Islam doesn't play with the life of an individual. Even when you say the life of the fetus, who you want to regard as not a full physical human being, Islam takes care of that. So as much as possible, even the life of animals, Islam takes care of that. Because in Islam doesn't allow you to take the life of an animal without you having any need for such animal. So much as we protect the lives of human beings, we protect the life of every living being.
Thank you very much. We are looking at the topic, condemnation of murder in Islam. In Islam, life is so sacred. It is Almighty Allah who created us and is the owner of all the life. In fact, you do not have the right to take your own life, take your own soul. You commit suicide, you go straight to the hellfire. We have a lot of misconceptions when it comes to all these things in Islam. If you commit suicide, in Islam, you go to the fire of hell. So Islam has zero tolerance for the offense of murder. Now, Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz, I'm coming back to you again. Now, in a situation where we have Muslims whose lives are not governed by the Sharia law, which stipulates steep penalties for criminal offenses, what is your take on that?
As it relates to murder, when you don't have
we have issue of corruption, law, even where you have laws of the land as regards a particular offense.
You know, the general rule, whenever the Sharia authority is not in place, more of a rule of alaykum anfusukum. That is, you are in charge of yourself. In charge of yourself to guard yourself and conduct yourself in a way and manner that you don't commit sins. You don't do whatever Allah has prohibited, including committing murder. It's a complex, scenario for a Muslim to actually live in, because there has to be law in place. There has to be the Sharia in place to bring everybody to book whenever they overstep the boundaries of Allah. But unfortunately, where you live in a place where the Sharia law is not in place, the second question will be, is there any law in place at all? If there is a law in place at all, then the law in place has to be, has to be followed to protect lives as it relates to murder. Nobody has a right to take the life of another person. The Islamic fights, so to say, that you had in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, at some point they have to be brought to a halt. Bringing them to a halt required coming into agreements, coming into some kind of treaties, some kind of terms of peace. Those terms of peace are, terms that all of us are committed to in order to see that we don't spill the blood of one another. So as long as those laws are in place, the Muslim is also binded by this law that you don't take the life of another person. This is actually how the ulama describe a state that has a constitution. Like Nigeria, for example. It has a constitution. The constitution represents the agreement between all parties that form the state called Nigeria. Whether they are traditionalists, they are Muslims, they are atheists, they are Christians, they are Jews, all of us are captured in this constitution. So that we are all binded by the law of respecting one another, protecting the life of one another, ensuring that there is always peace and there is no crisis.
Thank you very much.
Now,
Professor William, I'll come back to you again. We have some countries that have abolished death penalty. Condemnation of murder in Islam. The penalty for murder in Islam is you will be executed if you are found guilty of murder. What is your view on abolition of death penalty? When Almighty God that created us has made that law that whoever kills and is found guilty should be executed.
You see, there is no way we will not have problems in every society where we try to modify the natural laws that govern us, that govern every society. It's one of the ways through which people modify the natural laws. And wherever you have that, will not be far from crisis. Because, for instance, in Nigeria, assuming we still uphold that is, whoever takes the life of another person unjustly, such individuals should also be eliminated. If we abide with it, we'll not be running into series of crises that we have nowadays. We have so many examples of people that were kidnapped before ransoms were paid. Such individuals were eliminated. Even when ransoms have been paid, they still went ahead to kill them. Quite a number of times we have read that certain numbers of kidnappers, bandits, terrorists, or whatever, committing one heinous crime or another, were arrested. Later, we will still hear that they receive amnesty.
But Nigeria did not abolish death penalty.
I'm coming. Now, much as we do not abolish death penalty, how many times have we in this country heard of someone that was condemned in any court of law to murder, and such persons were eventually executed, either publicly or privately in any secret places? We've not heard of that in the past 30 years. And that is why we keep, rigmaroling around a circle. Because right from the time kidnapping started some years back, if we had adopted that, right from the time the Ipso banditry started, the terrorism started, all these forms of criminalities in our society, if we had adopted execution of anyone that was found guilty, after carrying out all the decent investigations and you confirm that this person actually did this, if you execute them, automatically nobody will want to venture into such things. But at the end of the day, you still find them on the street of on the streets of the town. Now, coming back really to other countries where they have abolished that, they try as much as possible to keep such individuals out of circulation. And what they believe is that, separating them from the society, not having any contact with anyone, is even worse than killing. You've heard of people that were confided or that are confided life imprisonment. In one room, they only give them maybe 1 hour of refreshment during the day or at night, depending on whatever the person chooses. Keeping the person solitarily in that kind of environment can be worse. And it can be likened to, al-fitna to ashadu min al-qatl. Keeping someone in permanent condition of tribulation may be worse than death sometimes. But whichever one we adopt in the country, as it is today, Nigeria cannot even be said to have adopted anyone. We are just floating, and that is why we have this mirage of crisis within us today.
So our law is very clear. We have a law stipulating death penalty for offences. Another thing is the enforcement of the laws. I'm coming to you now, Ustaz Sani Abdul Hafiz. Now, is it permissible in Islam to, in the guise of jihad, perpetrate heinous crimes like murder?
No, it's never permitted in the laws of Islam.
What is jihad?
So,
jihad means killing the innocent?
Jihad is a struggle, by the literal translation. And this struggle can be in any form, which one of the forms is actual fighting. And the way to express it is to say that you are struggling to enforce Allah's law. You are trying to, live the life that Allah says you should live. Obey Allah's law. It's a continuous struggle. You are struggling with yourself. You are struggling with the forces. Then you now have it at a point in time where you have forces that feel that you should not even exist because you are a Muslim, that you shouldn't exist. So this is the point at which the Prophet ﷺ was told that you should fight back.
Is it part of jihad to be involved in banditry and terrorism?
Yeah, you asking the question that what's jihad? That's why we are trying to explain it. It's not. It's not. Banditry is not jihad. Terrorism is not jihad. Whatever other forms of crimes people committing It's not jihad.
A police officer
No.
who is fighting against the armed robbers, is he not performing jihad?
He's performing a jihad because
Tell
he's
me
trying
what
to,
jihad is.
is struggling against disturbances to the society,
So whatever you
to the
do-
community. Everything you do to keep the community safe, peaceful, and, you know, progressing is a jihad. So it can be in any form. Now, coming back to the point of banditry, I feel actually very disturbed to even want to connect them at all. They are not in the same line. Because banditry is for some economic gain. We can put it that way.
Banditry
Because
is evil.
Yes, it's evil. It's for economic gain. Those who are into it, they know what they are out for. Even in jihad, you don't come to a place where people are just living and then you launch an attack on them because they are not Muslims. No, you don't do that. So when you say that some people are terrorists and then they go to a place of non-Muslim occupants in order to get everybody dead.
Or even Muslim occupants?
Okay, Muslim. No, normally when you want to talk about jihad, you want to talk about the non-Muslim. That's why you can't call it jihad. Because many of the times, Muslims are involved in what your so-called banditry, terrorism, insurgency, kidnapping. Muslims are involved. They pay the ransom. They lose the lives of their relatives. Mosques are destroyed. Worshippers are maimed. So how could you call it jihad? They are not close. They are not the same thing. So it's part of what the society need to be educated about. The Quran talks about jihad, but jihad is not banditry. It's not terrorism. It's not insurgency. It is not kidnapping. It is the Prophet ﷺ fought against Makkans. The Makkans was the home where he was born. He has been expelled from Makkah to Medina. And the people did not only expel him, they took arms to go face him in Medina to say, this man cannot continue to live. Whoever believes in him will be crushed. That was when Allah said,
Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. You are allowed to defend yourself, you defend your life. And so it is part of jihad to defend your life. Prophet said one tradition. That if a thief attacks you, you should fight him. And the companion asked, how about if he kills me in the course of the fight? Prophet says, you will go to paradise. He now said, how about if I kill him? Prophet says, if you kill him, he will go to the hellfire. So jihad is from the word jahada, to strive, to struggle. But it has to be a positive struggle. Striving in the cause of God. And God is good. And God is not evil. Saving a life. Part of jihad, as a medical doctor, you are called and you left your home at midnight, rushing to the hospital to save the life of that accident victim. That is jihad. Jihad is to struggle, to strive in the cause of God. Nigeria has been declared or was declared as a country of particular concern. And we are also hearing allegations of Christian genocide. What is your take on that?
Well, of course, when you look at the word genocide as applied to what we have in Nigeria, it's not only our Christian brothers, sisters that one can say are the victims of genocide in Nigeria. Because look at the issue of kidnapping, the issue of terrorism, banditry that we mentioned earlier on. All this one cut across various tribes, various religions, even including those that don't proclaim either Christianity or Islam. The victims vary in terms of age, in terms of tribes, in terms of religion. So one cannot really say that it's only the Christians that are involved, except that we are trying to just heat up the polity. And where the danger is the fact that assuming the people we are calling from outside come here, to come and assist us fight others, there is no way we will not run into more problems. Because in areas where they had intervened in the past, there is no part of the world where we have had intervention of these persons that we are calling, that they have stable society till today. Talk of Libya, talk of Somalia, talk of Syria, talk of even the Middle East. There is nowhere that is peaceful up to today. Now, if you say they should come, no bomb or bullet is labeled Christians or Muslims. If they drop any bomb anywhere, the devastation will not separate people based on religion or will not destroy people based on religion or tribes. So therefore, what we need to pray for and also strive for is there is a general problem, that there are general problems that we all have. The issue of hunger is there. The issue of mounting anger is there, which is necessitated by the situation we find ourselves in this country. So if someone is hungry, hunger as it is today doesn't differentiate between religions, doesn't differentiate between tribes. We are all hungry, we are all angry the same way. So we should not, based on the fact that certain persons are looking for favors outside the shores of Nigeria, then magnify the problem beyond what we will be able to bear when the consequences come. The consequences may be enormous. This country belongs to every one of us, whether we are Christians or we are Muslims or we are atheists, or we don't even believe in any existence of any God. This country belongs to us all, and we must defend it by our conduct, by our character, and by that band of humanity that all of us are together in this.
Thank you. Ustaz Abdul Hafiz, what is the government expected to do? The duty of government is to protect life and property.
The government, among everything they have done, which is striving to see how much they protect life and properties, we can only say that more should be done. More should be done, and just as has been mentioned, that when criminals that are involved in these activities are arrested, they should be promptly dealt with according to the law. And when Allah mentioned about punishing the adulterer, let some of the people witness their punishment, so that it will be shown that if the one who lost a life will know that the person that killed my person has been dealt with.
That will serve as deterrent to others. Thank you very much, viewers. We have been looking at the topic, condemnation of murder in Islam. Islam has zero tolerance for murder and for all criminal activities. In fact, Islam is very, very strict when it comes to punishment. You steal, your hand is amputated. You commit adultery, you are stoned to death, or you are given 100 strokes of the cane if you commit fornication, if you are not married. You commit murder, you are to be executed. You commit banditry, your hand and feet at alternate sides is to be cut off, and you can be banished from the land. Very severe punishment we have in Islam, the Sharia law. But when you have Muslims whose lives are not governed by the Sharia, then it becomes a matter of concern. Banditry, terrorism is not part of Islam. Jihad means struggle, to strive in the cause of God positively. And we should all try as much as possible to let all hands be on deck to make Nigeria and the world at large a peaceful place, especially as Muslims. Thanks for coming. Al-Aji Professor Bunyamin Aide, and thanks for coming, Mr. Sani Abdul Hafiz.
Thank you too.
Al-Aji Al-Amin Alao. We are joining us again next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
Welcome to Market Survey, your weekly guide to the pulse of trade and daily living in Benin City. Today, we take you to Oluku Market. Oluku Market serves as a key distribution point for goods coming into Benin City from the northern Nigeria and other parts of the country. In recent months, the rising cost of food items has continued to affect households, and onions, a key staple food in almost every Nigerian meal, have not been spared. Once considered an affordable ingredient, onions have become noticeably more expensive in many markets. On this edition of Market Survey, we focus on the price of onions in Oluku Market. We'll find out the current market rates, what's driving the change, and how traders are coping with the new realities. Stay tuned as we bring you insights straight from the market.
How the market of onions be now? How the price is there for market?
So the price don't come down small. No be like it before. Okay. But now the bag you ask Abi how are they selling for there? Yes. Abi for the bag.
So how you say they buy the bag for market? Because now you say the price don't reduce.
Yes, the buy was 75 this one. Okay. For one bag. So now I can sell the one 100 naira, 200 for pieces. Yeah. And the small one I can sell 150 to 100 naira
So how much you be dey buy the bag before?
Before it cost so it don't reach 300, 280. But now it don't come down way.
So all those ones where you tie for them, now what will be the least price, the smallest price where you fit sell them?
Na 200. Yes, 200. And this one what they put up on salary, they say 200.
So now your customer now they complain say the thing still there on the high side, even as you talk to say it don't come down.
It don't come down now. Any person where they buy honest now, you know say it don't come down. Because the smallest one before now be 200. We get the one where they said before 500. Okay. See now I can say 200. You know say don't come down. The price don't come down way. Tie 200 this one.
This one now you tie 200.
Yeah, 200.
So now be the least.
And I be the last amount this
so
one.
You not get 100 naira own.
101. This one is a small. I put the 4 inside 200.
Okay.
And the small this type. This one like this, now be 100 naira for one. Okay. And the second one this type, I can say 200, 500. Okay.
200 naira for one.
200 naira for one. 500.
Okay. You not get the one where they say 500 for one.
No, did that one.
Okay. The price don't.
And the price no go there. If you go there, I will sell like that. And you say the market be like a rubber. You know if you cut them. If you carry go to follow you long, you know if you cut them. That's what the market be.
How onions be now for market, how you take they sell onions for market. But firstly, I want to know that price is don't reduce.
No, now onion don't cost now. You don't add money where now. Yes.
So how much now you say they buy the bag now as it don't cost?
Now 120 after they buy back now. 120? Yes.
The bag gets different sizes?
It gets small, it gets big one. Big one 120, small 50,000.
So how much you fed? How much you fed to they buy before? Because now you say it don't cost.
Before that time where no cost. I they buy small 20,000, big one 50,000.
Okay.
Yes.
So but now that big one will be 120,000. So this basket with your hand now, if you full them, this small one with the inside, how much you take they said the onions if you full them?
If you put that, I will say down 5,000.
This one 5,000.
Yes.
Last, even if the person price.
Last, yes.
Then this other one, if you full, how much did they sell?
I will sell it for 8,000.
This one 8,000. Yes. Even if the person price now still 8,000.
I'll pick come up 500 for her now.
Yes. So this one 8,000. Yes. This one 5,000 last. So which one be the least price where you they sell? The smallest price where you they sell? You say if you sell last for like the small amount where you they sell for your onions.
Onions 500. 200 naira the smallest price.
200 naira be the smallest price where you buy.
100 naira now no day.
Okay. So now when we say the price now don't increase the way you take talker. Customer where they come buy now they complain, they give you say this thing too expensive.
If I give person, if you know like I may drop my onion now.
So how you take they sell them? How you take they sell the onions with there so?
For one, I be one it get 15 naira, it get 100 naira, it get 200.
So which one be 15 naira? Which one be 100 naira?
That one 15 naira.
Okay.
That size now be 100 naira.
Okay.
This one no reach 200 a pass. 150.
Last price.
Last price this one. 150. Now the last price.
So this one they say 200. They shade like many because I see like 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll shade and 200 naira.
That's small. This one 200.
Okay, so this one's like this. The small one if they gather at 200.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how much they say they buy the bag? Yes.
Now they buy one bag. Small.
Yes.
15. 50,000.
Yes.
That before they sell 25, 24.
So but now how much you got to the buyer?
50.
50,000. The one they say 25 before now 50 now.
Okay, yes.
It don't add price.
From the discussion with traders here in the local market, it's clear that the prices of onions are seeing a significant rise compared to previous months. According to traders, most of the onions sold in Benin come from the northern state, particularly Kano, Sokoto, and Kaduna. Transportation costs remain one of the biggest factors behind the increase. The high price of fuel and the cost of loading and offloading goods have all contributed to the upward trend. Seasonal changes also play a role during the rainy season. Onion supply often drops because excess moisture affects storage and causes spoilage. As a result, fewer onions reach the market and prices rise sharply. Traders say they struggle to balance profits and customer satisfaction. They buy at high prices and are forced to sell at higher rates, knowing that too much increase could drive buyers away.
So all these onions now where you tie for cellophane, the way you take and how much they sell and last?
200.
Maybe the last price. Yes. So if person price at 150 now, you know say?
No, say.
The price for onions, you don't come down, I be still there up.
No, we come down. It don't cost.
It don't cost?
Yes.
Where?
It don't cost, why?
How sound until they buy it before?
It don't cost, why? No, be small.
So this basket now where you take shade potato, if you put onions for inside now, how much you take sell?
Down 10,000.
Last price?
Yes.
How you want to sell?
Last price 10,000.
But what if you know say onions get different sizes, small one and big one. If not the small one there for inside here, so now be 10,000.
No, yeah. Anyway.
So anyone, whether small one or big one, if you there here na 10,000 last.
Yes.
So okay. If you there inside here na how much last?
10,000 now.
Last. How much they sell last?
Now 200.
This one like this now 200. I don't give you 5,000. Yes,
last price now 200. Sima koda na big one na 200. That one na small. Nobody something. That one na big one, small one na 200.
Yes. Okay. So this basket now, how much they sell like 50?
Sima koda.
This basket like for small one like this one for how much they sell and this one?
Sima koda so put basket.
Yes.
Now 1,500 na 2,000. Sima koda one na 8,000 na 7,000.
Okay. Is this one for 8,000, 7,000?
Yes.
This one for 1,500, 2,000?
Yes.
So you know they sell like 100 naira or 50 naira?
No, you know get 50 naira now. Sima koda one na small 100 naira. Sima koda one na small one. You see 50 naira.
So how you raising the price now? You don't come down for market. I mean, it's still there on the high side. It's there up.
Sima koda one market. Now market today now almost anyone it don't cost.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
As this your onions be like this for this rubber now, how much did they sell them?
We sell at 20,000.
Last price.
The last price.
As it be so because now small ones there. If na big one, a different price.
If na big one, different price.
How much you sell if na big?
25. Na seller. Last price.
Now small ones like this one are 20,000.
Na 20,000 because a single is 100 naira. This small one is 50 naira.
Okay.
So I would say if people space one say or pick on this one 6,500 or 7,500. This one is 6,200 or 5,200. That's why to sell it.
So this basket now,
This one basket I feel sell at 5,000. This one.
If it full.
If
you shave and wear 5,000.
If you shave and wear because now when it don't come down now.
You don't come down.
It don't come down. How should people this one go this 15,000 or 20,000? So now it don't come down now.
So how much do they buy bag as you don't take come down?
The bag, the small bag that is 50,000. The big bag that is 70,000. I will sell it.
Now they buy
now they buy for ring road here.
How much they buy before? Wait cost.
Before 150, 200 massive.
So now they don't really draw.
You don't need to draw.
So all those ones now where you shade, all those ones where they sell it. How much?
It's a 200. 200. If we sell it, it's 3,500.
Okay, the theory, if you share this theory, now person to buy at 500.
Yes, so if you sell it.
Okay.
So even because of the problem why we facing, now because of the road, before owners come here, motor don't spoil. So that is why if you not only go come down way.
So now they say the reason why the price still there.
Yeah, so because of the transport. For instance now, if you buy timber for that side, so before you come here, some of them don't spoil.
So these 3 of them, I go take increase the money so that I go see small money for inside. If you not, only is not supposed to be like this. So it's supposed to come down. Now because of the road what we are facing. So that is why.
But why they be like that? How many days did they spend for road if they come?
If I buy on Thursday, so motor pick on Saturday or Sunday. So because of road, the fee reach Monday or Tuesday before you come here. How should they no more? If a motor enter road on Thursday, Friday, in the evening, it's supposed to reach Benin here. So now because of the road, that is why owners go take before reach. So I wish now my store today, you go see many bag waste for. So if you know because of down, owners go just come down like this.
So that one that you think that be the reason why make
a day small. Make a day small. I wish you get better road normal. So if owners motor enter on Thursday, Friday, in the evening time on the night, motor go reach Benin here. Owners no go spoil. So instead they reach on Saturday, it never reach on Monday or Tuesday. Now you go come because of the road, hot dog and lack of hot for road. So that is why.
But
if you know,
it's onions. Now you get the season where we say it's a cheap. Where we say now it's season for onions.
That season within now.
Now so this one a season now.
That season within now. Why? Because that season only for Kano. This one a Kano onions.
Okay.
So Sokoto and Aleru, Kebbi State in the Barish.
Okay.
In the Barish. Maybe before Christmas, Sokoto and Kano, Sokoto and Kebbi State. So they want to bring come out. So now only Kano now get onions, and they under the season of onions. So now because of the one way it's spoiled for inside, I just put up for ground so that bees in the interior. I just pick a small. Don't way dry, I pick sell. Don't way no dry, I pick throw away because of the market. You know, say the market if you game and if you short. So this one, you know, the period because of the time that will be short for market. So if the time come way to achieve our aim, we go achieve because you never dry now. How should the only dry? Maybe you know if we be like this. Even though because of the road, you know, peaceful like that. So that is why I put up for ground so that the breeze made the enter, so that made the dry small.
So put up for ground like how many days you take dry?
No, it depends. The one way spoil, I don't pick a small. Don't way dry, I feel by they say small. Now till the 2 weeks must say you not go do anything unless I pick the small way. The one way it spoil. See, if you look this one, now don't way spoil. Why I pick for inside? Yeah. This one is one way spoil. I pick for inside because it never dry from that side. Okay. Because run the fall for that side, and if they bring a corn and rain for here, so that is why it will be short for owners. It never dry. House only dry, but there are no sites. Rain don't stop. So owners no go spoil after they spoil by this time.
So all these ones now where we say don't get this thing where it grow on top, they still good.
No,
all
yes,
the plants come outside.
No, they still good small. I pay sell it, manage. So no say this one I see spoil. No be so we say I do one way dry. Okay. So that is why we don't manage for onions. Why? Because the time way to achieve we be achieve. The time we be short, we be short because market na so market be. You get the day where you enjoy the market, you get the day where you short. So that is why now we the manage.
So what will be your advice now for people who be say still they buy in bulk like this? So be say they go see like almost all of them don't almost spoil. How they will take preserve them?
So if you buy onions where it spoil, if you put up for ground, the one way spoil, you go just the pick a small. The one way dry, you go just leave and make breathe the entire. So that even though you go short, you no go short as the thing they pay you, we go just short small. For instance now, last week as I buy onions for that side, so na 7 bag. So as I carry come here, na 4 bag nice for inside. 3 bag I don't manage, but the one way spoil and the one way no spoil, I just gather together, I just say small. Even though I don't see my game, supply the money more correct. So that is why we don't manage.
So how not say they preserve and may not spoil? Maybe the one where you bring come, where you buy come the bags. How you say they keep and may not spoil, may water not enter?
So now I know they buy many because we never dry. Okay. I dey buy small small. Like 7 bag, 5 bag. If I come, I fit sell the 3 bag. I fit put for ground so that I dey say small. Before next week, I don't sell I finish. So now so market be you dey manage now.
But what if you buy many, you want keep and you want preserve, how you take preserve?
So I know if you buy money now, I think saying about dry. Yeah. So if you buy money, I know saying about dry. Why I buy? I don't short by myself. Okay. So in about dry, I will just buy small. If time reach to buy many, I go buy many. Why? Because that time the north side rain stop and here rain stop. So don't drive for that side. If I come here, you see dry. So I know they buy many. If I buy many, I know saying on my own. I don't short. Why? Because I know say for that place. Only so about dry. Why I buy money come here? So even though I short, that one I know say I'm short. Why I buy plenty onions? So that one my own. I don't go care for anybody. I will care for myself. You understand? So that is why.
So this one we dey ground now. How you say no the one we be say still don't good? Where you come away don't dry? You say no the one we don't dry for this one?
Yeah. This one never dry. And this one don't dry.
Okay. This one now we be say get fruit like this never dry.
You never say touch. Water the day. Yeah. This one, even though dry, but it spoil. To this one. Not be decent. Yeah. So the manage now. The manage for onions. Never dry because none onions. Maybe if we internet say that time we know the cry for onion because it don't dry.
But if the onions dry, because you say now most time the transporter come now it spoil. But if it dry well, if you spend like how many days for road, it go spoil.
So even though it dry, so sometimes if it reach 5 days or 3 days or 4 days, it no go spoil. If you see onions spoil by that during onions don't dry, so if you see onions spoil, maybe the motor not spoil for road. So before they transfer to another motor, it had. Maybe if you spoil immediately in the night. So before you call the first one to offload for you, time then you go. So the time to offload or to transferring motor to another motor. So by that time then you go. So that is why you see owner spoil. Every me say by every now myself. Now because sometimes they see owner don't spoil. Now because of the motor. If motor spoil, before then transfer to another motor, time don't you go. So that is why with the short, but with the faith for God, we go pray for God, so that everything, even though you go short, you go short small. Even though you no see you again, so far your money correct.
Overall, the market survey shows that the rising cost of onions reflects broader economic challenges, from transportation to inflation and seasonal shortages. Still, traders remain hopeful that with better transport conditions and more stable fuel prices, onions will soon become more affordable again.
And we've come to the end of today's edition on Market Survey. And we got to know the prices of onions in markets and if those prices have reduced or they've increased. But due to some interviews that we got from traders, we got to know that the prices has increased a bit. And some say it is due to transportation and spoilage of onions when being transported. And that's it on today's edition of Market Survey. I am Stephanie Notariwa. Thank you so much for watching.
TV, certainly the best.
Abuja.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
It's sure always an exciting time to have you join us on the program Heritage with yours sincerely, Oloije Oikokai. Today on Heritage, we'll be taking a trip down to Zimbabwe to go see what they have for us in the Mbende dance. Now, this is a special dance that has been done during festive period. Yes. Now, as of 2024, Zimbabwe had a total population of 16.63 million people. So today on Heritage, we'll be seeing all they have for us today and letting you know that all we do on Heritage is getting you closer to your culture and tradition. Don't go nowhere.
is popular among the people of Zimbabwe, and the dance is a traditional aerobatic and sensual dance of the Ziruru Shona people of eastern Zimbabwe, particularly in the Mumewe and Zumba Maramba Pugwe districts. The dance is characterized by rhythmic drumming and movements that mimic a burrowing mode, and it accepts the pressure of colonialism through its cultural importance and recognition.
Kuna kuma singo. Oka murewa wona rwari para papadano Jafara Hotel. Kiribo mudo kompanda na teu. Yebo harware babako. Thank you.
The Mbenden dance is interesting due to its energetic and aerobatic movements, its unique nature, and its cultural significance in Zimbabwe. It represented fertility and sexuality. The dance features rhythmic movements performed by men and women in unison. The dance is propelled by single master drummer with accomplishments from men playing woodblock, hand clapping and whistling. It has been used to document ancient war tactic and the struggle against colonial rule, as authority won't ban them from being to rebellion and pride given to men.
Okay, a trip down to Zimbabwe was sure worthwhile. Now you have learned one or two things about Zimbabwean. Now the population, like I did say earlier, 2024 was 16.63 million people. Now it's all about culture and tradition, getting you closer. That is what we know how to do best. So we'll be seeing you again next week for another exciting time on Heritage. All the way from Zimbabwe, we're saying to have yourself a blessed day. Bye for now.